Okay, so I got this question from Quora, from a Chinese designer called Zhang Xiaoran. I hope I said that name right. So he asks, how can I recreate the China Mobile's logo step by step in Illustrator? So I actually answered the question here in text, but he said that his English isn't that great, so he asked me to do a video tutorial. So I'm going to show you quickly how I got about to recreating this logo. So actually, it's a very simple logo, and I'm not sure why you're trying to recreate it, but anyway, it's a good example, and it's a good exercise to look at it and try to recreate it, even if you're not going to use it for anything. So what I'm going to do here is I just grabbed a image here for reference. So I'm going to go back to Illustrator and drag this one in. So it's pretty decent resolution here, so I can work around it. Yeah. Okay, so it's just sitting there. I can make this into this layer that just came in. I can make it a template. I just go into the menu and select template here. So it's going to lock the layer and make it semi-transparent. So I can't really work on this layer, so I have to create a new one. So in the layer panel here, I can just create a new layer, and now I can work on top of this. So by looking at this logo, it's quite simple and it's very geometric. So actually the other answer that was on Quora was from another user, and he was saying like use the pen tool because you'll be able to draw around the lines and everything. But my recommendation is to, by looking at this logo, it's quite geometric. So it looks like it was made up by basically circles and straight lines. So it's good exercise to look at the logo, look at the shape, and see how it was made up. So in this case, I'm pretty sure it was made up with straight lines and circles, because straight line here and always straight lines and these round elbows here. So we can actually make this either with only straight lines and then round off the elbows, or we can build up using circles first and then draw the lines coming off in parallel, parallel lines coming off in these directions, and then we can build the shape from that. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go to the ellipse tool, and I'm just gonna eyeball how the circles would fit around these round parts on the shape here. So I'm pretty sure it's not that accurate. I'm gonna give it a very visible stroke there so I can see what I'm doing, and it doesn't need to be that thick. Okay, so I can actually zoom in here. So it's not going to be 100% exact, but we're just going to try the best we can here. So another circle right here. I'm just eyeballing how this would align here. So in this case, in this stage, we can actually turn off the smart guides, which is Command U, yeah, and so it doesn't just lock into unneeded positions and sizes. So we can work freely with the circles like this. So I'm holding down Shift, so we are drawing down perfect circles here with the ellipse tool. Okay, so and actually, if you look at this particular symbol, you can see that we actually only have to draw the top half of it, and then we actually rotate it and duplicate and rotate it to build the rest of the shape, which is exactly the same as the top part. So I'm just concentrating on the top part, and then I'll duplicate it so you can see what I'm talking about. So the third one goes here, something like this. Yeah, that seems right. There, and another one here. There, and I think I'll need a couple more over here. This is looking pretty messy right now, but it's just to don't worry about the mess. We just laying down the curves here so we can clean it up soon. And the last one goes right here. So I'm not really worrying about the mess I'm making here. I'm just making sure that I have these curves, you know, which look like perfect curves. They're already laid down. Okay, so what I can do now is I can actually, to clean this up, I can actually use the scissor tool, which is, I'm sorry, it's over here, scissors tool there. So I've selected this circle and I just click here and delete this bottom half here, so we can start cleaning up, just to make it easier to, you know, to see things, so that we just have the section that we need left, you know. So I'm getting this. The scissors tool is, the shortcut is C. There you go. And this one. Okay. And last one here. Oops, sorry. Okay. So we have these curves basically laid down. So now what we can do here is draw some straight lines, tangentizing, you know, touching these circles where they would, you know, touch them to create this continuous curve, you know, this path, continuous path here. So in this case, we have to you have to be careful, you know, not to. I'll just turn back Smart Guides with Command U. You have to be careful not to do something like wrongly guess where it would tangentize. So if I'm probably, you know, I think this would be correct, and then when I look at the structure, I can see that the line is actually crossing into the curve. So it's quite difficult to eyeball a tangent like this, because there's always going to be some sort of intersecting like this, which would, you know, if we're going into the perfectionist level, you have to use something else than your eyeball to create these tangents. So what I'm going to do actually is use a script which is common tangents. So what I'm going to do is take all these shapes, I'm going to duplicate the, actually I'm going to draw the angle that I need, which is kind of 320 degrees here, it's telling me. So that looks right. And I'm gonna just snap it to this point here. So now when I duplicate these shapes, I'm gonna use them to create tangents. So I'm gonna duplicate these and throw them over here, snap it to that point there. So now I know that if I create a tangent, a line from probably around this point to the same point on this object here, it's going to be a perfect tangent. And I'm going to do that using the script that I said. So I'm going to select these two guys. I need to find the common tangents between these two guys. So I'm going to go to Scripts, Common Tangents, there. And it's just found, you know, the perfect point where this straight line should join on this curve. So I just did that for me. So that's, you know, that's much more accurate than me trying to eyeball these 2 points and trying to guess where would be the perfect tangent point on these curves. And now that I have this one, I can actually delete it, and then I can actually I'll just uncheck Scale, Strokes and Effects, and let's make this bigger there. And again, it's not really perfect to the reference, but at least we're making a perfectly, you know, geometric shape here. So same thing goes with these two curves here. I'll just select them and go to Common Tangents. There you go. delete that. Same goes with this one. Boom. So these scripts are really good, and you can find these scripts online, or you can write them in JavaScript if you know JavaScript, or you can get someone to write them for you. If you need something, just Google. There's probably someone who's having the same problem as you, and someone who's found a script or something. So this is how I found all these scripts here. Okay, so that's solved this problem. So now what we can do, I think this line here on the opposite side is the same angle as this one, only just flipped over the side. So I can actually take this one and flip it with the O key, which is the shortcut, and there you go. And you can just flip it, and it just snaps. With shift it snaps 180 degrees, and it just flips perfectly, and you've already got your tangent on the other side as well. So I can do that with every one of them. I set the flip axis to be the anchor on the top of the circle, so that way I'm sure that it's going to be perfectly symmetrical to this curve right here, because these curves have anchor points in the middle there, where the mirror axis should be. So I'm going to do the same in each one of them. Now again, all this work is going to be done just once. If you look at the bottom half, we're just going to duplicate this top half, so we're going to save a lot of work there. And last one right here. There you go. Okay. So I can actually, on these lines, they have to be longer. I just hold down Shift. Yeah. There you go. And Shift. Yeah, this is okay. That's okay. And this doesn't have to be this big. And neither does this one. Okay. Just cleaning it up here. Actually, you can go down here. These ones. So it's easier to understand what's going on here. And extend this one here. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I think that's what we need here. I'm just gonna chop this one off with a vertical there, and now we're ready to duplicate these shapes right here. So duplicate this with Option or Alt on PC, and I'm going to rotate it with the rotate tool and holding down Shift. There you go. Oops. And now we just position it where it should be. So I guess this should be right here, around about there. Yeah, that looks right. And I have some duplicate lines here which I don't need. These two. Okay, so right now, basically, if I hide this reference, I have the basic skeleton in order to paint this and make the final shape. So actually, I'm gonna make these ones longer. Yeah. Okay, that looks okay. And these don't need to be this long. These two. That's fine. Yeah, this looks right. Okay, so I'm just going to hide the reference here. I hope you can see this on the video because the lines are very thin, and I'll just make them thicker just so it's easier to see there. There you go. So this is still kind of messy, but what I have to do is I have to paint inside to build the shape. So I just select this and go to the live paint bucket. So I just, in the live paint bucket, I'll just click to make a live paint group, with this, and now I can paint inside all these shapes. So if I look at this, what I want to do is paint wherever it's white, so I can build the shape from there. So I'm gonna choose, just any odd color and just paint it inside of there. I'm just gonna make sure that there are some tiny shapes here that yeah, this looks good. Just going to check if there aren't any tiny little shapes which need filling and which it just skipped by, but it looks okay. Yeah, that looks fine. Over here perhaps, yeah. Sorry, is this right? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now that we have the shape, we're almost there. We can actually, let me hide this. We can expand this fill, this paint fill group, whatever it's called. Sorry, live paint groups. You can expand it and make it into individual paths. So now we can work with this. I'm gonna ungroup everything. So Command Shift G to ungroup it. Now it's just bunch of shapes. And actually select the stroke here and tell it to select similar objects. It's going to select everything that's similar to that. So all the strokes, delete all that, and now everything that's green here is the shape that we need. We just need to do a pathfinder here. Select everything and go to pathfinder, and I'll just unite all these objects. I'll hold down Alt or Option, and now expand. So now I have one single path here, which is the main symbol here. Now the only thing we need now is to make the circle and to punch it out. So I'm just going to draw this big circle around it with the reference, and we can even select these and align them to make sure they're centered. It's aligning to the artboard. Sorry about that. Okay. So I mean, this doesn't look 100% perfect, but at least I'm sure that it's geometrically, accurate, and the circle is centered in relation to the symbol. So that's good enough for me, and that's what I need. So I'm going to take the circle, send it to the back, select both shapes, and punch it out minus front here with a pathfinder. And just gonna fill it, or actually I can actually display the background and take it off template. Oops. Take it off template. I can sample the color with the eyedropper tool and actually uncheck these to sample color from the image. There you go, we got a blue there. Actually, we can select the shape and sample the color from the image there. So now the shape is filled with the blue from the image. I'll just set this back to how I had it, and this is pretty much done. I can delete the image, and now I have the vector symbol for China Mobile logo. I hope this was helpful. I hope you can use these skills and the script, in that case the common tangent script. I use it all the time for all sorts of stuff, and it really helps me out. And yeah, I hope this was a good exercise, and you can use these skills to do other things, create your own logos, whether it be vectorizing a drawing, or recreating logos that already exist just for exercise, which is excellent exercise, by the way. And yeah, I'll see you around. Thank you.